Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforLove.com and your love life transformation specialist. Are you at that point in your life where you're just done with the dating thing? You don't really enjoy it. In fact, you hate it. But you understand that if you if you're going to find a guy, you got to date. Well, if that's you, I want you to pay close attention because in today's video, we're going to talk about how to make dating easier and more enjoyable. See, I believe the reason most of us hate dating is simply because we're not good at it. We don't enjoy it. We're not confident in ourselves and our ability to date. And it's like anything else in life. The stuff that we're really good at, we're like, hey, I like that. I enjoy that. But the stuff we're not good at, it's like, I really don't like that. That's not a lot of fun. I can't stand it. And there was a time in my life where I got to admit, I hated dating. Well, let me preface it. I hated what it took to get a date. I actually enjoyed dating. I enjoyed being on a date. I enjoyed getting to know someone and seeing if they were the kind of person that I want to be in a relationship with. But it was all that other BS before that I hated, simply because I wasn't good at it. I wasn't one of those guys who was born with the GQ looks. I had a friend of mine. We'd go out to a club and man, this guy would just turn heads and he would just smile at someone and the women would come over and he'd start talking and engage them. And I'd be like, man, this isn't fair. I wasn't born with those kind of looks and I'm okay with that. It's just the reality of how it was. And I wasn't one of those guys who had game. Like I couldn't walk up to a woman in a club, in a supermarket, smash my shopping cart into her and say, "Oh, you use the same soup," or all that bullshit that all the dating quote unquote experts tell you to do. That just wasn't me. It wasn't authentic. It wasn't genuine. But I had no problem if I was at a party and I was talking to a woman and I was interested and attracted to her. I'd have no problem at the end of the day saying, "Hey, would you like to go out sometime?" Like that was authentic. That was genuine. And that was me. That was comfortable for me. Even though it took that little bit of a risk, I had no problem taking that what I call necessary courageousness. It's like, where you have to be courageous, but it's a necessary courageousness. So I had no problem with that. But the dating, all that stuff before, just hated it. But then I learned to get good at dating. I learned not to play games because I'm a big believer that you shouldn't have to play games to attract the love of your life. Like if you have to play games, that means you're being somebody that's not authentic. It's not genuine. And very often, if you do that, you misrepresent yourself. You're going to get the guy, and then he's going to realize you're not the person you pretended to be. And that works two ways, of course. Guys do the same things right from the bat. So let's be clear on this. I'm not saying it's a one-way thing. Guys will misrepresent themselves. They'll tell you what you want to hear. They'll say and do everything to portray this picture to give you what you want so they can get what they want. Again, and those are the boys. And we're going to be completely honest, there are a lot of guys out there who are like that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about finding that true soulmate, the love of your life, the person that you can get to spend the rest of your life with. And I believe that the best way to do that is to be authentic, to be genuine, and to not play games. I know there are a lot of people out there who think differently, but I can say I've been married for 16 years. A lot of them are divorced or single. So you pick who you want to listen to. But again, today we're going to talk about how to make dating easier and more enjoyable. What are the things that you can do? And these are the same exact things that I use to make dating easier and a lot more enjoyable. To get to the point where like, hey, you know what, this dating stuff, it's actually fun. I'm actually enjoying it. So the first thing is you gotta get clear. Can't tell you how many conversations I've had with women. It's like, well, what do you want? It's like, well, I want a nice guy, who's got a good job, where we get along, where, there's chemistry, who treats me well. And I'm like, and what else? Well, that's kind of it. I've never met a woman who said, I want a jerk who treats me like crap, who disrespects me, who's irresponsible. Like, so all the things you're saying, that's so general. Everybody wants that. But you got to get clear. Like if you're going to be in a relationship with someone and you're going to have the relationship that you desire, how are you going to know when you find that person? How are you going to know to screen that person, to ask the right questions, to see if this is a person that you should even pursue? It's a process that I call creating your checklist for love. It's literally getting clear on and creating a checklist to say, these are the important things. When I did that, I'm telling you, everything changed because it's like, these are the things that I'm looking for. This is what I'm going to focus on. These are the questions I'm going to ask. These are the things that I'm going to observe. And I'm simply going to see if this person can naturally give me what I'm looking for. And if she can, I'm going to continue to invest my time with her. If she can't, I'm done. I'm out of there because I need this in order for me to be happy. And I'm telling you, getting that clear, crystal clear, is a complete game changer. Now, after you get clear, you can sit in your living room and the odds that the cable guy is going to knock on the door and be the love of your life probably isn't going to happen. So you've got to put yourself out there. You've got to put yourself in position to get noticed. Now, I'm not saying you go stand on a street corner with a placard that says, hey, I'm single and looking for a relationship. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is you go live your life. Put yourself out there. Let the universe know that you're looking for a great guy. Whether you want to do online dating, you want to go to a singles event, you want to go to a party, whatever it may be. Just be you, but live your life. Put yourself out there. Let the universe know that, hey, I'm looking. Okay? There's a secret to doing that. There's a secret to putting yourself out there. And how you know is if you're doing it right, is it's enjoyable for you. If you're doing something, you're like, oh, I hate this. I can't stand it. It sucks. Then you know what? Don't do it. You're forcing. That's the worst mistake that we make is we have to force. People say, you got to put yourself out there. You got to go out there. No, you don't. You don't have to force. You want to be pulled to do things that you enjoy, that light you up, that cause you to stretch a little bit, but not to this point where it's like having root canal without Novocaine. Okay, it shouldn't be that kind of experience. And if it is, I'm telling you, don't do it. Do things that it's like, hey, you know what? It's a little uncomfortable, but you know what? I'm going to stretch. I'm going to put myself out there. And very often, what you notice is, hey, you know what? That was a good experience. So you know what? Hey, I met somebody. It's kind of like, I don't know if I'm feeling up to go into this party, but you know what? I got nothing else better to do, so I'm going to go have some fun. And you don't go simply to meet someone. You go to have fun. You go out with your girlfriends, not to meet a guy, and see it all the time. Got to go. I got to meet somebody. It's Friday night. I'm single. Got to meet somebody, or got to go to this event or that event. And it's like, no, you go out to have fun, to put yourself out there. And in the event that you meet somebody, great, it's a bonus. In the event you don't, it's like, hey, I had a great time anyway. That mindset was a huge game changer because when I was younger, I'd go to the club like, with my buddies, hey, we got to meet some chicks. Okay, I'm just being honest. And very often I'd come home with no numbers. But if I went out just to have a great time and just to have fun with my buddies and just connect with other people, I didn't create great conversations, great connections, and very often I would wind up with a number. So I'm telling you, is just go put yourself out there, have fun without the pressure. So that's the second step, is to put yourself out there. Now the third, and this is a real big one, is you have to screen men before you date them. Okay, I'm going to say this again. Screen men before you date them. See, this is how it works for most people. You go, you meet a guy, you're attracted, there's great chemistry, you go on a date, you start sucking face, you're in a relationship, and somewhere down the road you realize it's the wrong guy in the wrong relationship. Why? Because you moved too fast. You didn't take your time. You didn't screen that guy enough before you even went out with him. I can't tell you how much that made my life so much easier. I met my wife online. I was doing online dating, and I'd have conversations with women before I went out with them. And I would know on the phone that this isn't the kind of person I'm looking for, or I'm not what she's looking for. And so I never even went out. I was polite, like, hey, you know what? You seem like a nice person, but, honestly, I don't think this is a good fit for either of us. So I wish you all the best. And sometimes people were upset or they were hurt by that. But I knew I was doing the right thing. I didn't want to waste their time. And more importantly, I didn't want to waste mine. So when you get good at screening men before you go out with them, and that's why getting clear is so important, this whole dating game is become so much easier. Now, once you screen guys, right, it's like, oh, seems like the kind of guy that I'm looking for. Now you got to date that guy before jumping into a relationship. Again, the biggest mistakes, you go out, great time, lots in common, great chemistry, boom, you're in a relationship. No, big, big, big mistake. Can't do it. Don't do it. Hear my voice saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. All right? You have to date somebody a few times before you jump into a relationship with them. Because by dating them, you get to see them for who they are. You get to see, is this really the kind of person I'm looking for? Are there any red flags? Are there anything that I should be concerned about? This happened with one of my clients recently where she was dating a guy and she was on the second date with him. They were out to a restaurant and the guy just started belittling the waitress and was being really disrespectful. Now, up until then, the guy said and did everything nice, but she saw that this guy really was a butthole. He was disrespectful, and she knew that if he was treating this waitress like this, it was just a matter of time before he was going to start treating her like that. And so she saw the red flags and she ran, and she didn't invest her time, and she saved herself a lot of trouble. So you've got to date somebody before you jump into a relationship. I'm not saying you have to date somebody for years. I knew within a handful of dates that my wife was the kind of woman that I was looking for. Did I know she was going to be the love of my life? Absolutely not. But I knew she was the kind of person that I wanted to get to know better. And that's the purpose of dating. So by screening guys before you go out with them and then dating them a few times before you jump into a relationship, this whole dating thing has become so much easier. Now, the last thing, and I believe this is the most important, is you can't take things personally. Dating is, always was, and always will be nothing more than a numbers game. I say it's like clothes shopping. You just got to keep trying on the right ones until you find the one that fits. See, if it doesn't fit, what I did is I said, you know what? Thank God it doesn't fit. Okay, now I don't have to invest my time and energy in a relationship that's never going to be the relationship that I really am not looking for. That doesn't mean that you don't have moments where you're like, oh man, that's a bummer. I was really into that person, or you know what, that sucks. I gotta date it. Doesn't mean that you don't have human moments where you get a little upset, a little sad, a little frustrated, all that. We are human. It's okay. The key is that you learn to realize, you know what? I'm one step closer to meeting the person of my dreams. I'm not investing my time and energy on a relationship or a person that'll never give me the love that I'm really looking for. So he's actually done me a favor. See, when you learn to turn things around and look at it from a positive, optimistic, glass half full kind of way, and you learn not to take things personally, the whole dating game just becomes a lot easier, and believe it or not, a lot more enjoyable. So I want to review real quickly. If you want to make dating easier and more enjoyable, you got to get clear, get crystal clear. How are you going to know what your true partner is really going to be like? What are the important things that you must have from that partner? Number two is you got to put yourself out there. You got to put yourself in position to get noticed. And I promise you, when the right guy comes along, and the key, the right guy, he's going to notice you. He's going to see what an amazing woman you are. And he's going to want to continue to invest his time getting to know you and ultimately having a relationship, because he sees and he realizes that having you in his life is what makes him happy or makes his life better. Now, the third thing is you got to screen guys before you date them. Really, really, really important. Number four is don't jump into a relationship. Date a few times before you jump into a relationship. And the fifth thing is simply don't take things personally. Try to make this a fun and enjoyable experience. And just realize that it's a numbers game. And if you can do this, I promise you that this whole dating thing will become so much easier and so much more enjoyable. Now, if you like this video and you find it helpful, what I'd love for you to do is simply subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends and loved ones. Now, if you find these tips helpful, I've also written an ebook. It's called The ABCs of Smarter Dating, and it has 26 tips and strategies that you can use to make dating even more fun and even more enjoyable. And it's my gift to you simply for watching this and being part of the GPS for Love community. So go ahead, simply click on the link below, download it, use it, and enjoy it, and go out and have fun. Because I promise you, if you're having fun, you're going to be even that much more attractive, because there's nothing more guys dislike than a woman who is negative, who's got an attitude, who's just not a lot of fun to be around. So if you can put yourself out there, have fun, and shine your light, the right guy's going to see it, and when he sees you, he's never going to let you go. So as always, an honor, privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. Much love.